Welcome back. As struggling state and local governments spend more on rising retirement costs, the political debate is over whether public employee pensions and retiree health coverage are too generous. Our guest is Jon Ortiz, who writes about these issues for Sacramento Bee's State Worker blog. Welcome. I want to ask you about where you maybe stand on some of these public employee issues. A lot of folks, regardless of party, steer clear of public safety pensions, much less public safety retirement health benefits, and they're among the most generous and costly in the public sector. The CCPOA or prison guard contract comes to mind. Aren't public employee pensions and retiree health benefits the 800-pound gorilla?
Well, they are, and I think they present a unique political challenge for lawmakers because they have a running start on the debate. You can debate a lot of things about government. You can argue that government shouldn't be educating children. Some people do that. You can argue that we shouldn't be giving welfare to the poor. There's a debate about health care in this country and the role of government. But when it comes to public safety, protecting property, taking away liberty, these things are classic roles of government. And so there's no debate about whether they should exist. The debate is how much do you pay them? And with their ability to organize and very effectively organize, they really do have a leg up when it comes to the policy and the pay debate in California.
It seems like the CCPOA in particular, the Prison Guards Union, is very good at being bipartisan in terms of who they support in the legislature.
Well, when you have as much money as they do and their members pay $80 a month and there are 32,000 of them, so you can do the math. Mm-hmm. They spent $2 million just about helping Jerry Brown get elected, defeating multi-millionaire, billionaire in Meg Whitman. So they have figured out how to play the game. They didn't establish the game, but they certainly know how to play it effectively.
Yeah, but they also, public safety unions get 3% at 50.
Yes.
And why don't you explain for our viewers what that means, 3% at 50?
That means that if you take their highest single year wage, and that's changed a little bit in the last few years, but generally most public safety workers get, you take their highest single year wage, multiply that by their years of service and 3%, and that is what their pension payment is. So, for example, if
someone starts at 20.
Somebody starts at 20, they work to 50 because public safety workers, most of them can retire at 50 with 3%. They would get 90%.
So 30 years times 3%, 90% of their pay.
Right.
And so, for example, I read something in the LEO report that the prison guards' average salary is about $76,000. The average overtime for prison guards is about $16,000. So we're talking $92,000 salary. Right. And if you get 90% of that, we're talking $81,000 for the rest of your life.
That's correct. And it caps at 90%.
Okay. Let me talk about another issue, and that is the argument that some public employee unions are making that this really is a Trojan horse attack on public employees. Is that the way this issue is really playing out?
I think it is. I also think it's playing out as a great opportunity for the unions to reassert themselves. The conversation is happening at the extremes. And public pensions are now kind of the cause du jour for the conservative movement. If you don't like the size of government, pensions are a great way into that conversation. Conversely, if you think you need all the government you can get and more, as the unions do, then public pensions are a rallying cry. And so what I think we're seeing set up as we move into the campaign season is you're going to see both of these voices getting louder and louder. Reality is probably somewhere in the middle, but the loudest voices, the voices with the most money in the organization, are at the extremes.
Well, recently the state attorneys union called the Little Hoover Commission's report on pension reform, quote, irresponsible and cynical. And now we're hearing that CalPERS is contracting with the Highway Patrol to have security at their board meetings, as well as using metal detectors and X-ray screening at their board meetings. Sounds like it's getting a little crazy out there.
Pensions are a very emotional issue. I can tell you that of anything that I write, and I've written 3,000 entries on my blog, I've written 200 columns. The ones that always poke the bear the most involve pensions. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've had people wish me dead for some of the things that I've written. I think that as government becomes critical of itself too with the Little Hoover Commission report. Those are particularly volatile words in this debate. So yeah, it is getting crazy out there. I think it's going to get crazier.
Well, hopefully cooler heads will prevail. I want to thank you for joining us. I also want to thank the LAO State Finance Director Jason Sisney, Marcia Fritz from the California Pension Reform Group, and Allan Clark from CSEA. If you want to learn more about Valley politics and policy, you can log on to our website at maddyandsuit.org to get our award-winning daily e-newsletter, The Maddy Daily.